welcome to EnslavedRage, my new YouTube channel, and today, as my first opening video, I'm going to be covering something I love to do, which is screaming. Surprise, surprise. And I'm just going to be going through you with the basics of the scream, okay? And first off, let's start with, we're jumping right into it, let's go. But first off, let's start with what you need to do first, is your warm-ups and pre-screen things to do. Tutorials, warm-ups, that's basically what you call them, I guess. But, it's just things to slightly help your throat. I recommend, before screaming, don't drink pop, don't drink milk, just drink room to warm temperature water, because it soothes your throat more, and you don't want anything to stiffen or tighten or make it all loosey-goosey. And just do typical things that you don't want to fuck your throat, right? But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Drink warm water and do little exercises like sing 2 songs prior to your screaming, like I don't know, whatever you're into, just sing them. Don't try to jump right into screaming, because that could also end roughly for you. And as you know, I just got out of the shower probably, but just sing a couple songs and warm up your body and your throat and mouth, and get that shit all warmed up, okay? Yeah, do that. You warm that up, and after you do that, it's just kind of straightforward. First off, I'll go through the techniques with you here. There's a lot, but the 2 main ones I really use are the growls, which everyone uses in a metal band, which growls refer to the lower screams or yells. And this is the easiest and the biggest gateway scream to in the whole screaming universe. It's not that hard to learn either. Just imagine, when you were a kid and you used to be like the evil guy and you'd be like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Except you actually said real words. Just kind of do that, and right here, from here to here, you can kind of just lock up your throat a little bit if you can. If you try to force out a cough forward, then you'll kind of feel a tension from here to here, mainly around here in your diaphragm, and that's where your growl is going to come from. And it's kind of simple to do, kind of like when you use your demonic voice. You just do that, except a little bit more tension, not too much, because the growls don't actually, my technique, they don't actually really use too much throat. They just kind of, it depends which way you position your lips and mouth, then that the sound will come through differently, at higher, lower, thicker, but don't even think of that way. But yeah, it's basically all you, and never try to sound like somebody else, because people will notice. They'll be like, that sounds like shit, and he's trying to sound like this guy or this guy, because as much as people that don't listen to it like to assume that it all sounds the same, but it uses just as much as your voice, and everyone is just as unique as if you were to sing. But yeah, okay, I'll just do a quick example of the growl for you, and it's just like your demon voice, but see the diaphragm here? You want to push it out from there, take big, it was kind of like that, right? It's just pushing it out, kind of but make sure it's you want it to be raspy, but force it out, don't push too hard, because you don't want to strain yourself when you're just starting off. But it's pretty much, that's all I can really say. Screaming is not the easiest thing to explain, so it's just, And as you can see, when I do it, I go like, and that's because I like it makes it more of an echoey, dark sound that way than a doesn't sound as good when you have it fully open. That's because, like, that's more for the high fries, which I'll get to next. But some people don't really ever learn the high fries, which is a problem with me, because, like, bands like Whitechapel, I'm sure they know them, and they're a somewhat successful band, and they have their good fan base and everything. I don't hate them or anything, but it's when they go on their higher notes, they never actually go high scream. What they do is they use lower growls, but they force them on with it's kind of what they do, except I'm not as good as they are, because they always do it, and you know, they're famous musicians. I'm still working on all my techniques, as everyone always should if you're learning to be a successful screamer. But it's a lot of practice. But that's what I actually learned after my growls. Whenever I tried to go high, it never would work. I couldn't figure out for the life of me how to do it until I watched one technique, and it really helped me. But yeah. See, if you do this, I don't necessarily recommend doing it, because it's kind of bad for your throat, and it doesn't sound very good, as you could probably have heard right there, especially from me. It doesn't really sound very good. However, I found it helped me get to the higher. Like, when I actually learned my high fry techniques, then it actually helped me out there. But the high fries, let's just hop on right onto those, that are commonly heard in songs like Pray for Plague by Bring Me the Horizon, right at the intro when he screams fly. It's just, But this is the harder technique that I've learned. It is, like, it's not near as easy as growls. I mean, you can anyone can scream, anyone can do it. It's not a natural born talent, it's just practice, which is why I love it, because you don't have to be super talented kid to learn how to do this. You could be that loser kid that has no friends and just likes his music and bad at sports, bad at everything he does, and you can pick up this, and as long as you put enough time and effort into it, you can do it. I was terrible when I started, everyone is. I mean, I'm still not that fantastic, but I like to practice because it's something I love to do. But let's jump right into high fries. I'm getting sidetracked. The high fries is a lot more throat tension. Ow! Like, it's right up in here, which is like you have to try to tighten in there. It's going to be kind of difficult. It's easier to feel your throat muscles once you've learned your growls and stuff. It's a lot easier. I mean, I didn't even attempt the highs when I learned the growls. When I first started off, I didn't even really like the highs, but now I'm like, woo! Anyway, you gotta lock it up here more, and it's a lot more difficult, and you gotta quickly force air through. Like, don't hurt yourself or strain your throat. Just do it slow and low like that first, and you'll eventually adapt your throat to go faster. Like, that was just a short little example. As you can see, I'm still not amazing, but at least I somewhat know the right path, which is all I'm here to guide you on. But yeah, you tighten up more here, and then it's like, ow! And then you'll feel it in here when you're forcing it through, and see what it does when you lock this up and tightens your throat more, and your vocal cords will slap together much faster, creating this high piercing sound, which is what your goal is. You want to make this really high shrieking noise. And when you're first starting out of this, I will warn you ahead of time, it is quite difficult and painful, but I learned this technique actually not very long ago. Like, it was like maybe a month. Not even. But I've used it ever since, and it seems to be improving a lot for me. So yeah, just like, see this face that I make right here? Make that face and like tighten your throat, and you'll kind of feel the right muscles. I mean, yeah, you're gonna look stupid, but oh well. Do it in private if you don't like it. Which, actually, when you're starting off, I recommend you do in private in the first place, because people are gonna be like, "The fuck is he doing, yo? The fuck? White people these days." Well, anyway, but yeah, you'll feel those muscles, and what you want to do is you'll eventually learn after you do a lot of screaming, and you learn your throat muscles more, which I just recommend. So, hold up. Master the growl before anything, because your growl is your gateway, okay? I mean, and do lung exercises so you can hold it longer, like, you want to hold it as much as you can, because it's a lot harder to hold the highers, but it doesn't take as much force as people think it does. Like, right there, sounds kind of shitty, but I'm barely putting any force into it. Barely any. And you'll adapt, okay? But just use these techniques, like, just feel where all these muscles are. You gotta learn these, and listen to your favorite bands, and try to adapt and listen to what they do without trying to sound exactly like them, because you don't want to do that. You do not want to sound like anybody in particular. You want to sound like you, not Chris Motionless, not fucking all these guys. You don't want to sound like anybody, okay? You just want to sound like you screaming, which is what I love. I love somebody if they have a unique scream, or if they scream at all, because we share hobbies. But just use these simple techniques, and hopefully it'll help you out. I plan on remaking this video later in time when I have more to explain and I feel I've grasped the concept more. But I hope what I've done helps you a little. I mean, anybody can do it. Anybody. There's not only fucking emos. It's not only metalheads. It's not only jocks. It's not only preps. It's not only anything. As I said before, you can fail at everything you do, but you can learn how to do this, and you can learn how to do it well, as long as you have motivation and you have a passion for it. Don't try to do this if you don't like it. If you don't like it, it's not going to be for you. That's all I can really say to you. But thanks for watching the video, and I hope I've somehow managed to help you grasp the concept more. And yeah, I guess there's not much more I can say, but I wish you luck, and if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask me, because I love talking about this stuff. I really do. It's like my favorite thing. But yeah, I wish you luck, and I hope you have more success than even I do with mine, because I'm still working on it, as you probably will too if you find yourself liking it. When you first start off, you'll be like, my throat kind of hurts, and then later you'll be like you'll be in class, and you'll be like listening to your jams, and you'll be like you'll be wanting to scream along, because you'll be like, ugh! And then you'll be like, can't wait to get home so I can go screaming. Wow! My parents will be so proud. Yeah, but I recommend if you live in a small household or such, then you should probably do it on your own time and terms, when nobody else is within hearing distance, at least especially starting off, or if you don't have exactly supporting parents. And yeah, I guess I should end it here, because we're reaching the 15-minute mark, and I really wish you luck on your streaming endeavors, and rock on! Wow! EnslavedRage out.